Used to rush to work and have no time for fun, and spend half of my life on full highway. Say hi. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. It's been a minute since I've done a vlog. I think the last 3 or so videos were not vlogs. I don't know. I feel like it's been a while. So today is a true day in the life. We're at home. We're not doing anything. We don't have any plans today. The day is already halfway over. You're gonna hang out with us for a little bit. Some minor updates. Well, I don't know if they're minor, but some updates that I wanna tell you guys about. Some life updates, I guess. Julian is out of school. The year wrapped up. He's on summer break, and some things have developed. But before I get into that, I want to tell you what we were up to this week. Today is, what is today? I never know. It is June 21st today. And so it's Tuesday. Yesterday was Juneteenth. We actually went away. I didn't take the camera. I didn't film it. We went away to Williamsburg, which is about a 2.5 hour drive, to meet up with my sister and my brother-in-law and my nephew because it was his 3rd birthday, my nephew. They decided to rent a little house on a resort for a few days as a vacation / celebration for his birthday. So we joined in and stayed with them for one night. We got to go swimming and go in a hot tub and have an amazing breakfast. But it was a lot of fun, and traffic was insane, so it took us forever to get there. And then, of course, we anticipated Juliana was not going to sleep very well, so it was a little shaky. That's what we were up to this weekend, Father's Day weekend. We got back on Sunday, and then a couple of one of Vince's friends came over. We just barbecued some hot dogs and hung out. I did get Vince a little gift. He wanted a specific hat, so I got him that hat. It's like a little hat that says Dad Vibes. Today, Vince had to get back to work, and I'm at home with the kids, of course. So that was our weekend. I hope you guys had a great Father's Day weekend if you celebrated, or just a weekend in general. She got up from her nap a little bit ago, and she's actually being very good. I gotta go get her some lunch real quick. It's gonna be kind of a late lunch because it's actually 3:30 right now. She went down for her nap a little bit later than normal. I did a whole bunch of baking this morning. 2 loaves of bread, cookies, a lot of baking. Gotta prep dinner soon so that that's easy and good to go.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh.
I'm actually getting a little hungry. I need to grab some lunch. I thought I would be able to make it by skipping lunch, but apparently that's not gonna happen. I already had my coffee today, which is great. I did my she napped. I did my daily meditation and just my quiet time for myself to gather my sanity. And then I got dressed, like a few minutes ago. So majority of the day I was in my pajamas looking homeless. But it's fine. It's fine. Before I go hunt down some food, if I can get this thing to stay up. Before I go hunt down some food, I want to let you guys know of some new developments. You guys know there's a lot of things going on, including the wedding. That's the major thing. We are getting married October 8th. We got engaged this year. We're getting married this year, for those of you that are new. Because we're insane. Well, mainly Vince is insane because it was his idea. The wedding planning, honestly, for us having a very short amount of time to plan it, is going pretty slow because we're not having a traditional reception. Sorry, I've got Pep in the background. I've got her over here. Please ignore the noise. But we're not having a typical traditional reception. It's more of just like an after party at a bar/restaurant where there will be food and drinks and we'll just hang out. But it is a little bit harder because since we don't have that same structure to work with, it's kind of confusing to figure out, like, how are we gonna do everything? How is it all gonna play out? Is it gonna run smoothly? I don't know. Like, we're just kind of winging it at this point because we're planning this all from out of town. So there's a lot I'm just not going to be able to really do until we are physically there. Like, plan the decor for the church. It's going to be very minimal. That's basically the theme for our wedding. It's minimal because we just don't have the funds or the time to make it some big elaborate thing. I still have to get my dress. I have it picked out. I just haven't ordered it yet. I still have to order a few things for the ceremony, like flower girl baskets. It's Vince's brother-in-law's church, so I've only seen video of it at this point, so I'm not really gonna get a real sense of what I can do until I get there, and I'll have a few days to throw it together and figure it out. We're still trying to figure out, like, transportation from church to the restaurant for me and Vince. We don't have a photographer. We're just gonna kind of wing it. Like, it's very casual and minimal, and hopefully it goes smoothly. I don't even know what I was just saying. Juliana started crying over nothing, and I had to deal with that. She's going downstairs to hang out with Julian for a little bit while I finish what I'm doing. So I don't even know what I was saying anymore. Anyway, hoping that it all goes smoothly, even though the planning is kind of crazy and all over the place. And quite frankly, we don't even know if we're gonna have the funds for everything that we need. Time will tell. I don't know. I'm waiting for some funds to come through, and we'll see how all that goes. Oh, then there is the move. I think I don't know, did I mention? I don't remember if I've mentioned. There's a chance we'll be moving next year sometime. Everything is really up in the air right now. But basically, I moved here when I was about 20, maybe 19 or 20, somewhere around there, whatever. So very, very long time. Very, very long time, since before Julian was born. We'll put it that way. I met Vince here. Both my kids were born here, but we feel like it's time for a different adventure in our lives. Just like me, Vince has a large family, and he has not lived by them in a very long time. He doesn't get to see them very often because of work, and you know, it's Indiana's far. So it's not something you can kind of just drive and go visit whenever you want. So we've kind of decided that, you know, it's time for us to spend a little time with his family and be around his family and let Juliana get to know her cousins over there from that side of the family, and just experience something different. And we don't know if it's going to be permanent. I'm trying not to really think of this as our forever home. I'm trying not to think about moving there as like our forever situation or our forever home, because I told Vince, like, we don't know where life's going to take us, and I want us to be as flexible as possible instead of like automatically predetermining, oh, this is gonna be our forever home or because like I don't know that. I don't know that. All we know is that, like, for right now, it's what we want to do and it's what makes the most sense. So that's a possibility. I'll keep you guys in the loop about that if there's any developments. But as of right now, with the market the way that it is, the goal, from what our realtor told us, which we have someone that we worked with to get this house, and she's amazing, very experienced and very helpful. She recommended that we wait till next year around February, March timeframe to try to put the house up for sale and then go from there. It's a whole thing. But so we're going to kind of see how that goes. We don't know for sure if it's going to work out, but that's what we're that's the goal. I'm downstairs because Juliana was bugging me. But the next thing, the last thing I want to update you guys on. Oh no, it has to be charged. Anyway, the last thing is, so Julian is currently in 7th. He just finished 7th grade. He's going into 8th grade. He turns 13 in August, and we've talked a lot about it and have decided that it would be best for him to try out homeschooling / unschooling. There you go. Sit over here as I try to explain this. But basically I talked to him and he was getting very frustrated with the structure of his school and how the kids are and how the teachers are just stressed because of the kids. So the teachers are always in a bad mood and they don't, necessarily bring their best because they're human beings and they have their own crap that they're dealing with and dealing with the kids and stuff. So he was expressing some frustrations with just the school and how it was run. Not that he didn't enjoy anything about it, but there was more cons than pros. So we decided, I brought up to him that if he wanted to, we could try out some type of homeschooling. Prior to this conversation with him, I actually had been hearing about something called unschooling that I heard on from several different people, and it immediately caught my attention. It was very interesting to me, so I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. It seemed right up my alley, and it seemed like something Julian would benefit from. So basically, unschooling is homeschooling, but the difference is that you're not following a curriculum that the school sets for you. You take whatever that they're doing, public schools, and how they're doing it, and you basically throw it out the window and create your own structure for school and how you want to do it. So I ended up picking up a book that I'm reading through right now just to kind of get this person's perspective on it. There's so many different approaches to this. So this is a trial period. He was a little bit worried about doing this because he didn't want to sacrifice socializing, but I told him that doesn't have to be the reality. If we're not intentional about getting him to spend time with his friends, then yes, he might end up feeling isolated, and we don't want that. Human beings need other human beings. They like being around their peers. I get that. So I don't want to take that away from him. So we are going to figure out how to get him involved with other kids. He already has friends that he can see. He just won't see them in school. So that's completely doable, but I think that the benefits outweigh the cons. So basically, it's called unschooling, but it's just homeschooling. It's just the name to kind of describe the approach. Luckily, our state is pretty flexible with homeschooling. I don't know Indiana's rules yet. We will see. But for the time being, while we're here in Virginia, we're gonna try it out, see how we both like it. I am not a teacher. I am not, certainly a math teacher or a science teacher. I don't know those things. So very well. They're not my strong suit. I'm not a teacher. Not for that kind of stuff. The plan is for math and some of those subjects that he needs to keep up with. He'll have some programs online that he'll be doing to keep him up to speed on that stuff. And that's math, language, arts, some science, some history, but we're not going to be covering history or even science to the depth of which he might have done in school. And the reason is because the structure that I'm going to be, what I'm going to be implementing is going to be a little bit different. So his core, what I believe are the most important core classes like math and, writing, reading, all that stuff, that's pretty much going to be done by the book so that he can function in the world. Those are useful tools, useful things that as a human being functioning in this world, he doesn't need to know math and writing and reading. And then we're going to be doing some history. I have to kind of see what the 8th grade usually talks about, because likely that will be adjusted. He'll have some teachings in history. He's already covered a ton, all the core stuff, that they like to teach about history in school. He's already learned about most of that stuff. And quite frankly, some of it you know, memorizing dates and all these things is great, but that's not something that in homeschooling is going to be a huge thing, just memorizing facts. I want him to look at themes in terms of history, like whether or not he can name what year a specific event happened. I honestly don't feel that's as important as just understanding just the overall theme of what happened in our history, not only American history, but world history. So basically I'm going to be kind of cherry picking what I feel is valuable for him to know and leaving a lot of, quite frankly, what I consider filler stuff out. Same with science. And then he's going to have some classes that we're going to structure around his interests. I have to talk to him about that. Public schools have to teach in one way. There's just no possible way to teach to each kid's strengths, to see how each child learns and be able to structure the learning around that, because there's I don't know how many kids are in a class, but like 15, 20, I don't know. So schools can't realistically do that. So I get it, but it's just not helpful for every child. Because my son tells me that like in a lot of his classes, they'll have like the stuff that they're like, you know, the core stuff they're supposed to learn. And it just seems like the teachers are just trying to fill time with like, honestly, kind of meaningless work or stuff that they just don't need to know or spend their time on, that could be best used elsewhere. But because of the structure of public schools, they don't have that freedom. They don't have the ability to do that. So it's just very like standardized cookie cutter way of learning that just is not beneficial to every child. We will be starting school a little bit later to allow his body to wake up a little more naturally. He'll have healthier lunches here because he won't be eating the processed stuff that they serve at school. He was constantly talking about the food there and how bad it was. His days are not going to be as long. They're going to be a little bit shorter. I want to see like what is he interested in, what is he drawn to, what is he good at, what's easy to him, and then taking all of those things, learning about that for the next few years, and then maybe by the time he graduates he'll have some direction as to where he might want to go. All right, I had to change the battery, but anyway, all that to say, he'll be doing homeschooling for a little bit until we move, and then if he likes it, if I like it, it works for both of us, and maybe something that we continue with. But we're gonna have a trial period. I'm gonna do some more research. I'm going to come up with with kind of a curriculum, the classes we'll be doing, the structure, like what days, you know, what times, and finding some workbooks and doing some, finding good programs online for math and stuff like that. So still a lot to do, but that is also in the works. Haven't had lunch, so my lunch is going to be a slice of jalapeno cheddar bread with, I think, butter, right? No, or should I do cream cheese? My appetite has been so weird lately. I just don't have like, it's not that I don't have, like I get hungry. I'm just not always in the mood for something in particular. So it's just like eating sometimes just feels like a hassle. Like I'm just like, I'm not in the mood for anything. I don't want to make anything. I just wish I could take a pill and be full and not have to worry about cooking or choosing foods, because as of right now, it just feels like a huge chore. Dinner, I'm gonna do some salmon. I need to prep that, season that. So while I eat my bread, I'll tell you guys a little story that's kind of gross, but I have to tell you. So last night, Julian comes into my room and he just got in a shower. So he's like in a towel and he's like, "Mommy, is there something on my back?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So he turns around and he's like, "Is there a tick on my back?" I don't know why he thought tick, but that's what he thought. And he turned around and sure enough, there was a tick sticking out of his back. Half of it was inside of him, or its head was inside of him, and then the body was like out. First of all, I'm not afraid of bugs, but most of them gross me out. That's one. 2, I've never removed a tick from anyone before, even myself. I've never had that I never had that problem, like a tick. Never happened. And I'm standing here and there's a tick eating my son. So I had to get like tweezers. I got tweezers, and without really doing a whole ton of research, I did it correctly in terms of like removing it. It was small, wasn't like a deer tick, which carries Lyme disease, so we're not too worried about that. I looked at the wound, which was not really a wound, like a little bite, and it's like, we washed it off, put a little like lavender essential oil on it. I don't know why, something told me to just do that, so I put it on there. It has some anti-inflammatory, antibacterial properties or whatever, so I threw some on there just for good measure, and it looks great today. Like, you can't even notice anything was there, so there's no rash or redness or anything like that, so I think he's good on that front. That was disgusting. Just 5 out of 5, do not recommend. Eating my jalapeno cheddar bread, and I just bit into a spot that was super spicy. Just one spot. All right, we're back inside. I'm eating a cookie, another one. I have a few minutes before I need to start dinner, so I think I'm going to watch like 20 minutes of TV before I have to start dinner. Juliana's over there, and then our evening starts.